Welcome to Write with Love. I'm Sarah Williams, best-selling author, speaker, and creative entrepreneur. Each week I chat to passionate and inspiring authors about their journey in creative writing. Some are traditionally published, some do it themselves. Everyone's journey is different, and everyone has something interesting to say. We all love love and love what we do. Today's show is brought to you by our amazing fans and supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support the show and get some awesome bonus episodes, go to patreon.com/SarahWilliamsAuthor to learn more. Now here's today's show. G'day, I'm Sarah Williams, romance author and independent publisher at Serenade Publishing. Today I'm chatting to Alli Sinclair. Thanks for joining me today, Alli.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No drama. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your writing journey so far?
Okay, my name's Alli Sinclair. I'm Australian born. I've lived overseas in Peru, Argentina and Canada. Spent a lot of time travelling the globe, working as a tour guide and mountain climbing guide as well. It's settled now back in Australia. I live in southern Australia and mother of 2 kids.
So when did your first book come out?
First book was Learn Tango, and that came out in August 2014.
Brilliant. And so that was also the year you were nominated for a favourite new romance author by Australian Romance Readers Association. Yeah, for that book?
Yes, it was quite the year. Yeah, quite the introduction to being published, that's for sure. It was amazing.
Excellent. So did you pitch to a publisher for that one? Tell us about how that all happened.
Yeah, actually I had an agent who she pitched my Learn Tango to Harlequin, Australia. But I also had an idea for a couple of other books, so we decided to just go for it and just pitch the 3 books, and they loved the idea for all 3. So Harlequin decided to sign me on for that, which it was just such an amazing experience. Like getting that phone call, running around the house like crazy, screaming, and it was quite the moment.
Excellent. So have those books just been published in Australia or around the world?
No, I've been published around the world. I have my books also published over in the States, Canada and UK with Kensington Books. And then I've also had some books translated into German and recently Serbian.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. I know. It's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. And so you've got, all these different translations. So how did that process? Did they just kind of say, hey, we want to put it in German or Serbian?
Yeah. My publisher over in the States, Kensington, have a really strong foreign rights department. So what they do is, they go through the books and they figure out which ones might suit which market, and then they have an agent over in that particular country. So, for example, in Germany, there's a German agent who has all their contacts with the German publishers. And so publishers, I don't know how many publishers read my book, but one definitely bought it. And, so that got translated and it went really well. So they've now bought a second book, and that one is going to be published, I think, April next year. So, and actually it was really pretty amazing. All the firsts that you get, you have all these dreams, and then you want them to happen, but you don't expect them to happen. And one of my dreams was to be published in German and also to be published in hardcover. And boys and girls, show and tell. This is the German version, and they've actually published it in hardcover, and it even has its own built-in bookmark.
Oh, that is so cute.
That was a super, super duper special moment, I must say.
Fantastic. So tell us about your books. They all have a dancing theme running through them, don't they?
Yeah, well, the first 3 definitely do, yep. So the first one is set in Argentina and is around the tango. The second one is set in Spain and about flamenco. And then the third one is set in in Paris, and it's about the ballet, the Russian ballet over there.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. But I like to weave in a lot of history into my books, and yeah, sorry. What was that?
No, keep going. I was going to follow that line anyway.
Were you waiting? So my first three are definitely dance oriented, but you don't have to be a dancer to appreciate them by any means. And then my next book is a little bit different in that it is an Australian historical, but it's also mixed in with an Italian story in 1943.
Brilliant. So a little bit of historical happening there as well.
Yes, I love my history. My history teacher would be very proud of me.
Fantastic. So tell us about this next book that's coming out, The Burning Fields. Of course, it's set in North Queensland, which is where I'm from, or just moved from. So tell us how you were inspired to write that book and kind of what it's about.
You know, ideas come from the weirdest places. This one came to me fully formed while I was doing the dishes. So I just obviously was not very involved in doing the dishes. My brain wasn't anyway. And, it just came to me fully formed. And as soon as I did the dishes, I just sat down and for 2 hours just wrote this story that had been brewing in me that I didn't even know. And then ta-da, you've got Burning Fields. But, a lot of drafts afterwards, but you had Burning Fields. But, this time around, I wanted to set something in Australia. I think we have a lot of really fantastic stories that we can tell. And because I am drawn to our history, I wanted to tell a story or two stories really in this book that may not be told or not seen so often. So this story is set in 1948 and is about Rosie, who was working for the war effort, has now returned to her family farm, and she's finding the adjustment really hard because she's, mid-20s, she's getting on the shelf. There's expectations on her to marry, but she's had this taste of independence, and she really just wants to, continue exploring all the different opportunities that she had prior when all the men were at war. And then she meets Thomas, who is an Italian who has emigrated to Australia, and he's got his own little story going on there and lots of mystery behind his actual background, which gets revealed throughout the story. I think in Australia we've got such an interesting immigration story, and also the story of our women post-war is with just two things that really appealed to me. And then the more I started looking into it, the more I knew this was definitely the story that I wanted to tell.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm guessing with the Burning Fields, we're talking about the sugarcane and how they burn it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just find sugarcane really romantic as a backdrop. I will ignore all the creepy crawlies underneath and in between the sugarcane. But I'm really visual when I write my stories, and I think with North Queensland, it's such a beautifully visual place that it just made sense to set the story there. And I just knew right from the get-go that was where the story needed to be.
Yeah. No, I remember reading Alli by Judy Dunn a few years ago, and I actually met her, and I'm kind of like, why didn't you write that book up in Babinda or on Tully or Innisfail? Because I was living in Townsville at the time. She's like, well, I had friends in Bundaberg, so it made more sense. But it's very romantic and spectacular to see them burning the sugar cane and getting rid of all the insects and rats and those sorts of yucky things. But really beautiful pictures, and I do love your cover too. Your cover is
thank you. I wish I could take credit, but no. Awesome team at Harlequin popped it together, and it's just, I love this cover so much. In case anyone wanted to see it, it just depicts the story perfectly. it couldn't be any more perfect in my eyes anyway. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
So Harlequin, they picked you up for the first 3, which would have been Luna Tango. What are the other two?
And it's Spanish stuff. Beneath the Parisian skies.
There we go.
Yep.
Beautiful names. and they're doing this one as well for you. So they've done 4. That's awesome. Are they?
Yeah, I'm contracted for another one that will come out next year, more than likely. Yeah.
Excellent. So we have more to wait for.
Yeah. More to write.
Always got to write them first.
Exactly.
So in all this spare time that you have, you also you're based in Victoria, so you do some work for the Victorians Writers Centre and your own workshops and mentoring?
Yes. Yeah, that's another aspect I really love, and it was it seems to be growing. So I do I take workshops for Victorian Writers Victoria, sorry. And yeah, I do manuscript assessment and mentoring, and I love it. And it's you find some gems, and it's really great to be able to interact with other writers, because even though I'm there teaching a workshop, I also learn as well. We all have this amazing exchange of ideas, because writers all have different backgrounds and experiences, and we all have something to bring to the table, whether we're starting out or we've been doing it forever and a day. And that's one of the things I really love about writing, is there's always something new to learn. Yeah. So I enjoy that.
Absolutely. And this week you just announced that you're going to take a Writers at Sea cruise. So tell us about that and how we can get involved.
Yes, that's very exciting. So my good friend TM Clark, Jen Marie, we are organising a writers' workshop at sea on the 30th of August, and it's on the Carnival Spirit, and we'll be sailing to Noumea. And we'll be doing workshops on board, we'll be doing mentoring, we'll also be doing writing sprints and looking at different aspects, not just the craft, but also things like, how do you make the most out of the time that you have in terms of writing, and making the most of that, spare hour or spare 20 minutes that you have, because everyone's strapped for time.
Yeah.
So we're going to be covering quite a few different topics, and I think also just the chance for writers to go and somewhere where they can hang out with like-minded people, and they can work on their craft, and all they have to worry about is, am I going to have the pasta for dinner, or do I want the salad, or that's the biggest decision that you've got for a whole week. So of course, it'll be hopefully nice weather. I can't control that, but we've chosen a good time of year, so fingers crossed. But sun, sea, writing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good combination.
So are you going to hopefully do more of these next year? And
we want to make it an annual event, because not everyone can afford to do it every year, but it's definitely something that we would love to run on a regular basis, and hopefully people get a chance when they can to do it.
Yeah, and of course you are taking the cruise which goes to Noumea in New Caledonia. So that's spectacular. Yes. I was there a couple of years ago, and I definitely said I have to come back here. I'm a bit of a serial cruiser, so and that was the thing. Like the one I was on last year, it was just like, we just need to make this happen. We just need to make this retreat happen. We've been talking about it for ages, and so we've put all the planning in. Everything's in place now, so now it's just a matter of getting on there and doing it. Yeah, fantastic. So are there any prerequisites for people? Do they need a first draft or anything like that, or can they be a complete novice?
Yeah, no, we wanted to open it up to everyone, because there will be one-on-one time as well that we'll be able to spend with people. So we will be asking if for people to give us 10 pages and a synopsis, and then we can sort of go from there and spend some one-on-one time and work with them through that and brainstorm and that kind of thing. But the workshops themselves, we're going to open them up to everyone of different levels, because we all learn something. We can all learn something. So we wanted to make it so anyone could come along.
Yeah.
So, and better if you've got a bit of an idea as to what you're going to write, but you could be totally inspired to come up with something totally different. So, yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's brilliant. So you're also involved in Books and Homes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Books and Homes is a really amazing organisation. I'm a volunteer there. And what they do is they work in conjunction with authors and publishers and receive donations of books, and mainly aimed at primary school children in remote areas or in areas where, the families may not have the means to buy books. And they've discovered through experience and also a whole lot of different things that they've researched that if kids own a book, they tend to read it. Like there's that sense of ownership, and their literacy actually improves quite dramatically. So they work with schools over, say, a 12-month period, and kids actually get a list of, say, 2-3 books that they can choose from. And once a term, an author comes along and hands out the books, and kids get the books that they want. And then they take it home and they read it with their parents, and the teachers actually notice a massive difference in terms of them being engaged in reading and their literacy levels going up. So it's a fantastic organisation. Oh, really amazing. Yeah.
Fantastic. I was talking to Josephine Moon a couple of weeks ago,
yes. Yeah.
And she was talking about, the people who take dogs in and they read to the kids with dogs.
Yeah, I met someone the other day who does that. It's amazing.
It's brilliant. I mean, we've got some failing literacy scores, I guess you can say, in Australia. It definitely does need to go up. So really anything we can do to help these kids to read, I mean, why wouldn't we? As authors, we might as well. They're our future readers. So.
Yes, that's exactly right.
They might not want to read our books right now. That's brilliant. Awesome. So what are you working on at the moment?
I am working on another book, surprise, surprise. This one is set in the same fictional town as Burning Fields, but in a different era. So this one has I don't want to give away too much, but there's a bit of Hollywood glamour in this one, but there's a connection to rural Australia as well. So I'm about 65,000 words in, so I'm getting there. But it's pretty research intensive, as are most of my books. But yeah, I found some really interesting little gems which I've been able to weave into the stories. So I'm working on that one at the moment, and it doesn't have a title, so it's kind of that book that will not end. That's the title.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, where can we find you online, Alli?
You can usually tell when I'm under deadline, so I'm on Facebook way too often under Alli Sinclair author. I've also got my website, which is www.allisinclair.com, and if you're after some information about the writing retreat, I've also got that there under the writing retreat banner. I'm on Instagram as well, under Alli, I think it's _Sinclair. And Twitter, occasionally under Sinclair.
Well, that is awesome. I'm really looking forward to reading The Burning Fields, which is out on the 21st of May. So if it's not already out as this goes live, it will be very soon. So yay, well, thank you so much for that, Alli. It was great.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Jump onto my website, sarahwilliamsauthor.com, and join my mailing list to receive a free preview of my books and lots of inspiration. If you like the show and want it to continue, you can become a sponsor for just a couple of dollars a month. Go to patreon.com/sarahwilliamsauthor to find out more. And remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a review of the podcast. I'll be back next week with another loved up episode. Bye.